Hello, everyone. Vincent Briatore here. Today's going to be a very exciting episode. Okay, we're going to talk about Bitcoin SV. I'll give you a little couple of shots of the cologne. Bitcoin SV. I'm going to give you some price predictions, and we're going to discuss this kind of meteoric, parabolic rise that we've seen in Bitcoin SV the past couple of months, this past year, really. It's performed really well last year. It's gained about 250%, 236, something like that percent in the past 30 days, and it's up 80% today. Okay, I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking, Craig Wright, Bitcoin SV, what's next for Vincent? Have I lost my mind? No, I have not lost my mind. Obviously, I do not really think Craig Wright is Satoshi. I do not believe he had the finesse or acumen really to be the man behind Bitcoin Core or Bitcoin. Let me stop saying core. Bitcoin. Okay. Just something about the guy. But I thought that being that it's becoming so popular, we should open channels of discussion. And, maybe I could get some people on the show that are, fans of Bitcoin SV, some people that dislike it, get a conversation going. You shouldn't let prejudice, cloud your judgment. In the end, we're all trying to make money, right? I mean, yeah, we're supporting the technology, yada, yada, woof, woof, but we're also trying to make money. And Madonna, 6 months ago, I was looking at Bitcoin SV, it doubled in like a week. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to get behind this because I just don't really believe in the project. Don't like to think of it. But in reality, I didn't really dig too deep into it. All I knew was Craig Wright wasn't Satoshi, and he was claiming all this stuff, and he was tied up in court over a dispute with a former partner over 500,000 BTC or something like that they had mined together in the early days. So you got to give Craig Wright, credit for being on board and being involved very early on in Bitcoin. Maybe so early on that he convinced himself that somehow he could be Satoshi Nakamoto. You got to look at a lot of things, but the main thing is, this could be a big PR stunt. And it's obviously working. Bitcoin SV is extremely popular in China. And for those that don't know, Bitcoin SV is pretty much doing the same thing that Bitcoin is trying to do. It's to be a cashless payment system, okay? It's no fundraising behind it. It is what it is. It's a cryptocurrency in of itself. And actually, a lot of this, okay, so he's going through these court disputes with his former partner and apparently received the last bit of like a wallet, some sort of trust, tulip fund thing that will allow him to access these funds, and is going to be talking about it next week. This could be a big part of the surge, even just today with 80%, and part of it leading up to, 280%. Also, they're having a fork on February 2nd to 7th. I'm not really super up to date, but it's like the first week of February that involves kind of distancing itself from Bitcoin Core even further by removing completely any type of cap on the block size. So what does this mean? This means speed. This is probably, if you want to call it scalable, I guess you can call it scalable to enterprise level. I mean, there's not going to be a cap as far as if transactions are going to go fast, block size are going to keep on growing until it becomes an issue. So this doesn't really stifle it as far as the more people use it, is not going to supposedly clog the network and create difficulties. Obviously, for those involved in Bitcoin and all the different solutions that they have tried over the years to speed up transactions, like the Lightning Network and stuff, they haven't really caught on as much as we thought. I was never a fan of the Lightning Network anyway. So, just discussing pricing, right? What can we expect? Well, I would expect, this surge to continue for at least a week. So if you are into profit, I would wait maybe another day just to see if there's a pullback, because we did go 88% up today. Usually this can be followed by a pullback. Try to find a good entry point. So don't rush into it just because it's up like crazy today. Wait a couple of days, find an entry point that you're comfortable with, and you could probably write it out for at least the next week. I could see it going up a lot because of the court case. Now, theoretically speaking, we could keep seeing this rise substantially, this parabolic, meteoric, whatever you want to call it, Uranus. The planet, capito, now I'm going to get censored by YouTube. Guarda, up to the hard fork that's coming up the first week of February. Why? Because, these kind of things, they always get people excited. So it's not one thing that can push into the next thing. After that, I think we could see, it could still keep going up, but, depending on the news and how things play out, it'll be a lot more stable. the thing is that we have seen since the beginning of time, this kind of idea that people missed out on Bitcoin on the early days, because what is it up like 9 million% since its birth, and so people feel like they have that FOMO. They've missed out on getting in early. So a lot of cryptocurrencies have used that branding in the name of Bitcoin to create largely successful projects that have reached that, that have grown substantially. So there is something to use the Bitcoin name. There are some projects that, are still a little bit more niche, like Bitcoin Private as such, but most of them have seen a degree of success that they definitely would not have seen without the name Bitcoin. And I think the PR based on the whole Satoshi Nakamoto thing has really played out well for this dude. But like I said, anytime this could be just a ploy, and we could see this guy pull out any point and just the whole thing crashes and burns, or you receive some bad news, something comes out. This isn't something you can play on TA, because this is something move for move that moves with the media, like Abito in the news and Craig Wright and all the situations. But they're good at it. You got to give them that. You just got to see if they have some sort of thing. They're like, oh, we're going to sell here. Then everybody gets screwed. So like I said, we see this trend. And as price-wise, at this point, I think BSV, with the actual technical stuff that they're putting in there, removing the block size, which obviously some people are going to be fervently against. They're going to believe that that is a temporary solution, that then it's not going to work out. However, enough proponents and people are going to slowly start backing it. Why? Because the more price goes up, it means the more people are buying into it. The more people buy into it, the more people are going to start being positive about the project, not necessarily because they believe in it, but because their money's in it. And once your money's in something, that's the best way to start believing in something, right? So we're going to see more and more of that. I think it could come market cap wise, what is it, like 3.6 billion? I mean, it's going to be up there, contender with Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, these kind of cryptocurrencies. So my prediction, I could see in between a $1,000 to $2,000 Bitcoin BSV based on market cap and circulation supply, easy this year at some point. Is it risky? It's very risky. But there's that, there is that snowball effect. Once something starts really performing well, people feel like there's wiggle room to keep growing. Money keeps flowing in, the price keep coming up. You just have to make a personal decision about your entry point and where you want to get in, where you want to get out. 6 months ago, I saw this going up, shot up to over $100. I was like, nah, not gonna do it. That's all it's gonna perform. But the news kept coming. Things kept going. People slowly trickled in, trying to make a buck. And now, we're up over 200, almost 300% in the past month. What are you going to do about that? Could it be it? Or could it push forward through February? My belief is we may have some temporary pullbacks when the whales and active traders sell after good days where it goes up 80%. So you definitely don't want to buy in at the high. But I think overall, over the next 30 days, moving into February, we're going to see it perform pretty well. And we're going to get into the technical aspect and philosophy of the project, but that's kind of where I stand, where I see this going, being that I've been involved in crypto and trading since 2016, so I've seen this stuff come and go. That's kind of how my read. Wouldn't look into TA too much because, from one day to another, this whole thing can shift and the boat can sink. Should you put all your money at Bitcoin SV? Absolutely not. But if you have a tolerance for risk, this may be an opportunity that doesn't present itself every day. All depends. If you're trying to double, triple your money in a couple months, then Bitcoin SV might be for you. But if you're not ready to risk, walking away with 1/3 of your initial investment within a couple of weeks, then don't do it, because it is just as likely that it could go back down to $100 and you could lose, 65, 75% of your initial investment as it could triple, So it's just something you gotta keep in mind. And you can't make it based solely on the advice that someone else. You have to look at the historic performance, follow the news, and make your own decisions. I've always found that if I miss out and I lose, but I made the decision, I feel better about it, and I kind of can compartmentalize, can deal with it a little better than if somebody else be like, hey, do this, and I do it, and I'm like, man, not chila media. Capito? Anyway, other than that, I've been doing good. It's been a very challenging time at this point in my life, but I'm trying to take it, one day at a time, trying to be positive and trying to put my energy and my mind back into the things that I'm passionate about and not try to linger too much on things, So much about life is not about in our control. All we can control is when you buy, when you hodl, when you sell. So there you have it. I hope everyone's doing well. I would love to hear everyone's thoughts on Bitcoin SV. I know people are going to probably have some colorful comments. But like I said, I'm not siding one way or the other. Obviously, I don't believe he's Satoshi Nakamoto. But from a purely speculative trader standpoint, this could be an opportunity. It is what it is. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, buy red and sell green.
Greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs,